We're good to go.
Later. All right, I think we're
Cool.
live.
I think we're live. How are you?
Okay, so there were a series of things that went wrong in
Series
order
of
to.
unfortunate events.
Yeah, so I sit down. I thought, okay,
Hmm.
got a few minutes to spare. This is good. But I'm looking at, so I've got the camera, the monitor for my computer, and then to the right I've
Hmm.
got this Atomos Ninja monitor and recorder, but it's blank. I thought, oh, that's weird, but it's not powered on. Okay, so powered on. It's blank still. There's no signal coming from the camera. I look over the camera. The camera's off, and there's no
Okay.
lens there because I took the lens off
Okay.
when I went to Whidbey Island last week.
Right. Right.
And I put it. I went to go find it. I found it. Put it back on, and everything's good. And I see the image, but then the computer's got like unable to connect to FaceTime or something like that, like 10
Hmm.
times, and it won't
Hmm.
go away. And I'm like,
Oh.
what? And so I'm trying to shut down. It won't let me shut down
Mm.
because the error message won't go away. And like, it's frozen. So eventually I got it up, and
It's all good.
here we are.
We're here.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yes.
So you said you were in Whidbey Island. Where's that?
Yeah. So from Bainbridge, you can go up
Hmm.
to Port Townsend, which is a cute little
Right.
town. It was like in the late 1800s, early 1900s, I think. They said they were predicting that Port Townsend would be the
Hmm.
big city for the Pacific Northwest.
Oh wow.
Blow because it's a better position. You don't have to go
Yeah.
further around the sound to get to Seattle. So this was going to be the big city, and it just never, because the railroad was going to be connecting, and then the railroad
Right.
changed their minds and said, "Yeah, we don't really want to connect there," um,
Wow.
and uh,
Change the city.
um, and so it like killed the city. And so
Gotcha.
there's now still a lot of buildings from that Victorian era, beautiful beautiful homes, but
Cool.
because the rich people like got in there early, and then it didn't turn out well, and it was kind of a dead town for a long time until tourism kind of kicked it up a few, probably 20, 30 years ago. um,
Gotcha. Wow.
I think some of that was fueled by Officer and a Gentleman, because that was filmed in Port Townsend,
Okay. I
and a
didn't know
few
that.
other things. Terrible movie, but
I think I've seen it. It's not
yeah,
bad. It's maybe not my. I think it's like a romantic movie. Is it
yeah,
not?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically if you are uh, if you are a woman, you need to wait till a man comes along to save you. Seems to be the message of the
Are these
movie.
the movies you're? Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
you're showing your your offspring.
Yeah. This is
No.
there is no chance for you, and you're going to be stuck working at the paper mill until you
Interesting.
find this man
Someone to whisk you away.
to save you. Because there was a navy base right there, or a navy air station or navy
Gotcha.
base right there, which shut down in the 70s or so, 70s or 80s. Yeah. So anyway,
And for
you go
this,
up to
yeah,
Port Townsend, and then there's a
hmm.
ferry that takes you out to Whidbey Island,
Okay.
which is this massive island, and we stayed there in a little hotel on Penn Cove, and which has oysters. Penn Cove oysters
Hmm.
is a big thing,
Nice.
um, and except there's no oysters. I don't think there's oysters anywhere in the area because of a red tide
Yeah, yeah,
event.
yeah.
So a lot of people are hurting right now. But anyway, we stayed there, and it was a lovely 2 or 3 days, 3 days, and yeah, good stuff.
Sounds
But
awesome.
anyway, so I took
No,
my camera, I took my that lens,
right.
you know.
But I wonder, is this the first trip that you've taken your car on, the Rivian,
It
or is
is,
this?
it
Okay,
is,
okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of interested because you've got like a moving battery pack.
yes,
Like, is it handy to like be able to recharge your camera in the car or anything like that, or is that
it
something that's
is, it
okay? Okay.
is.
Because for me, I'm
Oh,
thinking this is like a massive moving battery pack. I can
yeah,
like top things up and then top it up and then keep moving. I don't know.
yeah. I haven't. I mean, I didn't really, because I had power at the hotel, so I was able to. I have
Fair.
three batteries.
Overnight. Yeah.
Um, the camera I brought with me is S9, but I have the
Hmm.
S5 2X here, and so I've got a bunch of batteries for that. Even though I don't ever use any of the batteries, I use the
Right.
into mains power. Um, but so I didn't really, and the S9 I was able to use. I actually ended up using one battery for the 3 days, um, and so I didn't need to. But
Hmm.
in other trips that other day trips that we've taken, we've needed to charge up. My daughter's sometimes gets these books from the library that have like the front cover has a little playback module that just
What?
reads the story and then makes a little
What?
chime when you turn the page. um
I had no idea this was a thing.
oh yeah,
Okay, I will need
and
to
these are like
check this out.
20-year-old books,
Wow.
15-year-old
Wow. I had
books.
no idea that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
they charge with micro USB.
I was going to say, yeah, that old,
um
like that long ago would have been micro. Wow.
and and
So I was like,
uh
why are we talking about books when we're talking about charging? I was like, you threw me
and
for a loop there. I think my face was blank.
well, so I don't have, and the Rivian has USB-C ports, but it also
Oh, right, but
has,
it's hard to get USB-C to micro. Yeah, yeah.
right, but it has has one or two regular
Like
plugs,
USB-A. Yeah.
like electric outlets.
Oh, okay.
It
Right on.
has, I think, one or two in the center console in the middle, and one in the back. So I just have my charger, right, regular plug-in that I use at home,
Right.
plug that in, and she was able to be up and running in 20 minutes. She had a
Interesting.
full charge. So that's been great. I haven't really
Yeah.
used taking it. I mean, it's nice having a reliable charger, and it's got a, for a phone, or as long as you've got the MagSafe
Like
ring,
Chi.
it just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
locks in there,
Hmm.
and that's fantastic. Um, and I carry
Very
around.
cool.
I have a watch charger in the, like, leaving the car, so I can charge, because that's really my key, is the watch.
Right, to get into the
Um,
car. Yeah. So
get
if
into the
it
car. So
dies, you can't get in the car.
yeah, I mean, I have a card as well, but really the watch is the thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um,
That's really cool. And with
but
the
yeah.
family thing, because like listen, you and I are interested in the tech stuff, but I kind of want to hear like what a real user thinks of the cars. I'll tell you what, having driven, it was a long weekend in Canada, so we drove around a little bit, and I saw some cars while I was out. I noticed that some, I think it's Hyundai's, have like the Tesla door handles, and I was like, of all the
Mm,
things to copy from Tesla,
yeah.
I don't think the door handles of
No.
what I would copy. But I'm wondering, did Rivian take any of those like newer car design notes, or are there anything in it that kind of help with the long trip, or is it sort of just like a standard
I mean,
vehicle?
there's definitely some annoyances when you go to places like
Okay.
parts of Whidbey, or anything around this area, because there's enough places that are not connected, not like where there's no reception.
Right.
um, and I find that one of the annoyances of the Rivian is that it will not, by default, there's no way to like touch something on the car to make it lock
Hmm.
or unlock, unless you
Oh,
have the
interesting.
card. The card, like a credit card, you can tap on
Right.
the door handle and it will lock or unlock. The
Oh,
Volvo
okay.
XC40 that we have, that's 6 years
Right.
old, you just put your finger, as long as you have the key, you just rest a finger, or even your butt
Right.
or whatever you have, like, against the door handle, and it locks or unlocks,
Right.
and that's great. But there's nothing like that in the Rivian. The
Mm.
Rivian, it will just, when you're 20-30 feet away, and your watch is no longer connected, it locks.
Right.
Except when
Right.
you're fully disconnected, sometimes it doesn't lock. And
Right.
so you go back and, like, did it lock? And then you pull out your,
Is it locked? Yeah, it's like
yeah,
Schrodinger's car door. You're not sure if it's locked or not locked, and
yeah.
then it doesn't
And
really
then as
matter
soon
because
as
you're
you walk
panicked.
close, it unlocks. So, like, you're trying to stand like 30 feet away and, like, look, it's like, is the door handle locked? I can't
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah. You
Um,
mentioned Volvo, and my best friend is a Volvo fanatic and has been modifying their Volvo. And I
mhm.
think just got a used XC90 that they're planning on playing around with as well. But one thing I've noticed, at least in terms of in terms of like the human interface to a car, I guess Volvo really has some excellent design choices. And one of the ones that I'd never seen in a car before, it's got like headlights that follow the road and stuff like that, which is pretty cool back in the
Hmm.
day. But one of the things that it has that I still haven't seen in a lot of cars is cooled seats. So like AC
Oh
coming out
yeah,
through perforations in the seat, which is like it just felt like Volvo had a lot of these maybe
ours
design
doesn't have that.
decisions. Oh yeah, yeah. Before like everybody else did. Yes, I think it's part of the premium touring package or something like
Right.
that. Anyway, it
Yeah, it
does
does
feel
have a
like
lot of.
if
I
we're
mean,
gonna
it's
steal from somebody, yeah, go ahead, sir.
so. My wife's one of my wife's cousins, I think
Hmm.
cousin or second cousin, anyway, some family member, works for one of the companies that makes the seats for most cars, as like one or is in that industry and knows about the different seats that are made for different cars, and
Gotcha.
and we were asking him, well, we love the seats in the Volvo. What else is there? I says, well, there's
Right.
nothing better than Volvo. I mean, that the Volvo has the best seats. Unless you're
Yeah. Right.
paying, $200,000 for a car, Volvo
Right.
makes the best seats. Period. Other
Wow.
cars come, th- there. There's a bunch of other cars that are second, but they're a long, distance second. Nobody comes close
So
to the
far
Volvo
behind.
seats.
I
Um,
will say, and this is maybe like a Japanese market thing. I think I was in Toyota Sienna a few times,
hmm,
which is like Alphard or something there. But the seats that they've got in the back, not in the front, are like reclinable
yeah,
massage bucket seats. I
yeah,
probably talked about it in the podcast after I came back, but it blew my mind. I've never had a seat that well. But yeah, I would agree. The driver's side, like the driver and passenger side Volvo seats, are super super
yeah.
comfy. They're amazing for long trips. Yeah.
The
It.
Rivian back seats will
Mhm.
recline, but they don't. None of the seats have a massage mode.
Right.
I mean, that was one. I mean, the Lucid massage was so lovely, so wonderful. Uh,
But that's kind of what I expect, right? In a newer car, I expect something other than like an AI assistant feature,
right?
which I understand it has, but I assume was offline for most of this, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the AI, like this morning, I had a bunch of issues with the AI thing because I'd say,
Okay.
hey, send a message to Tony. I says, I found two Tonys. No, you didn't. There's one Tony, and then there's a Tom. Tom is not Tony, but I mean, and so I responded, I was like, no, you did not. There's one Tony. I send a text to Tony. Like, okay, let's send a text to Tony. And I started saying the message, and like it stops halfway, and says, I can't do anything, and
I
and
can't do
I
it.
it was very frustrating this morning. But usually, I'd say 90% of the time, it's been great on the
I'm
Rivian.
looking through like the outage reports this morning. So there's an OpenAI incident this morning. Maybe they're
Hmm.
using OpenAI as a
Mm.
backend or
Yeah.
something. The Claude issue started this afternoon. It could be because, of
Oh yeah.
course, they both had issues today.
Yeah.
I've got like a down detector that I watch for
Yeah.
both of
Oh
them.
yeah.
The uptime is not great for either provider. I think this
Yeah.
is where maybe Ollama shines. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you played around with the new Kimi
Yeah.
model
I
that
mean,
landed
it's
there.
it's interesting that for a long time it felt
Hmm.
like Ollama lost out in speed and the up high end performance. For if you have a
Right.
really complicated question, it was always in the past not as good as the OpenAI
Right.
and ChatGPT. But I find that a lot of the newer models, even models that fit on normal machines, they
Hmm.
perform almost as well as the ChatGPTs and Claudes, and
Right.
they're often, for a lot of things, they're often faster on just normal hard. It's
It
like shocking
Yeah.
that that is
It does
true.
feel like depending on the effort that you play around with Anthropic,
Yeah,
it does feel like even medium is slower than
yeah,
Ollama. What I've noticed though is when they get busy, that latency can actually
mm,
be pretty critical. Like just
yeah,
connecting to the
yeah,
API and doing the work can sometimes take like a minute before the
yeah.
work starts. So
Right,
it's like not only is the speed itself bad, but the latency seems to be
right.
attributing to it as well.
Yeah,
And maybe it's just Ollama is not having the same hug of death that
yeah, yeah,
Anthropic and OpenAI are experiencing. But even as like it feels like a better third player in this than Google's Gemini, basically,
yeah,
which is uh, sad. Is that the right term?
yeah. I
It
mean,
feels sad that like Gemini has this to lose.
for companies that have billions in hardware
Right.
And when,
Right.
something that's a few $100s worth of hardware is beating it, or thousands of dollars of hardware,
Mhm.
I mean, that's a little bit sad.
It's a difficult decision to make, right? If you're in
Yeah.
the build versus buy, or like
Yeah.
I'll provide my own kind of argument, then you're already faster, cheaper, and better. So
Right.
maybe better is harder, but faster and cheaper for sure, and on par, I would say, with
Yeah.
Gemini's Flash, at least on the open source side. I think we can say
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough discussion to
Yeah.
have, unfortunately. But I have played around with Kimi K3. It is really fast on
Yeah.
Ollama.
Yeah.
And my understanding is it's a fairly large model to run, so
Yeah.
maybe I'm missing something, but it's quite fast.
Yeah.
And the output seems to be on par with Opus, which is what
Yeah.
I've been using the most of. I still do give the occasional, a poke or kick to Fable, but
Yeah.
I'm trying not to like go over my utilization. But I've been using a lot of like Sonnet 5, Opus
Yeah.
5. They seem fine, and like Kimi feels like an Opus level. It's
Yeah.
definitely better than Sonnet, which is a big surprise to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one launched was Qwen, but I'm not sure if Ollama got that one just yet. I think
Uh,
that happened over the
which Qwen
weekend.
3.5 is it, or
I thought it was 3.6, but it's this massive model. Maybe it's 3.8 actually. Yeah, it might be
oh,
3.8.
okay,
Was it? Yeah, 2 days ago, 3.8 max,
okay,
I think is what it was. So it's 2.3 trillion parameters. So again, it's something that I can't
yeah,
maybe not host today, but it is, yeah. I mean, it's a massive model. It feels like something where like it's going to be a provider based thing as opposed to, you know,
yeah. Qwen 3.5 I see is on
right.
Ollama Cloud. Um,
Yeah, that's the only one
and
I see for
3.6
sure.
is available if you download it.
Okay, gotcha.
Hmm.
Interesting. But again, trying to play trying to use, I guess, these different open source
Yeah.
models because it feels to me like I think we've had a reckoning about token size already. It was sort of silent,
Mm-hmm.
on the Anthropic side, at least. So I think they've played around with the tokenization. They have played around with pricing, and some of that might be the newer models that come out have different pricing methods. But it feels like there's a bit of reckoning in terms of price as a whole. Like when you
Mm-hmm.
can pay the $20 for a llama, it becomes difficult to justify the Anthropic. And I understand there might be businesses and
Mm-hmm.
security and all that regulatory stuff for sure, but at home, like the math is pretty
Yeah.
straightforward at
Yeah.
this point in time. Like I'm at the point where I think I cancel both my max plans from like OpenAI and
Wow.
Anthropic. Like it's that good. Like,
Yeah.
and it might be that there's a newer Fable or Soul or something that's going to come out, but like
Yeah.
Fable is not unusable for me, but pretty much unusable the way that they've rolled it out with the current plan. With all of its protection around like what you can make with it in terms of harnesses and AI
Right.
agents and stuff like that, it's like, well, what am I what am I using you for? Like this is the whole idea.
Right.
And I feel like on the codex side, I'm increasingly having issues with prompts that they say are against their TOS for the same reason. And I'm like just a lowly like dev, like shitty dev, let's be honest. But like DevOps engineer, let's say,
Right.
who's trying to dip their toes into agent development and harness development. I guess what I'm trying to say is I can't be alone, and I can only imagine other people are having these same
Yeah.
problems. Whereas at the same time, you get something that's hosted or you can host locally that doesn't have these issues. Anyway, maybe I'm just repeating the argument from the Pi creator, but it feels like both of these harnesses and the models that go with them are not working in my favor any longer.
Right.
And as a result, I'm looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
Is kind of where I'm at right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. Did you see anything about the um, Nvidia financing issues with other companies? Uh,
No.
okay, so I don't know.
What
I mean,
what has
I
happened?
I saw. So there's a concern. I don't know if it's like a
Okay.
big concern or a real concern,
Right.
or so back in the I don't know, what would it be, 2000s, or
Hmm.
I don't know what year era. Well, when was the dot-com boom or dot-com bust, the bubble
Uh,
bursting?
right
Is
around
that
year
it?
2000. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the issues there was that Cisco would, I mean, there were lots of companies that were doing something similar, but Cisco would
Hmm.
was selling, they were the hot networking provider, networking equipment
Right.
provider. And
Definitely.
so as more companies would come online, they need this
Hmm.
networking equipment to get their business online. Um, and but they couldn't afford it. And so Cisco would not reduce their prices, but like give a loan out to these companies to be able to buy Cisco
Oh,
hardware,
interesting.
and then pay them back when these companies got bigger. But the companies never got bigger,
Huh.
and all of a sudden, this money that was coming in isn't coming in.
Right.
And there were a whole bunch of these deals, and that was one of the things that kind of pushed things to burst. And the
I did
idea
not
is that
know that.
Nvidia
Okay.
is doing, allegedly, doing something similar.
Similar. Yeah.
So like big investments into OpenAI or Anthropic, with
Right. Those seem
the
circular. Like I'm not
with
great at math, but it
yeah
seemed like a
with
weird.
with
Yeah.
the requirement that they're investing in them, and they buy Nvidia equipment, and with the a
Uh,
guide with the idea that they will be bigger in the future.
right.
And and so
I'm not
there's
great at accounting, but I was like, hmm.
so there was a oh, I know where I saw there was a video put out by Philip DeFranco yesterday on just
Okay.
like a 9-minute video just on this specific topic.
Wow.
um I was like, oh yeah, this is
Yeah, this does seem weird, right? Yeah.
yeah. um so
Again, it's kind of like follow the money, and it feels like an investment in the future. So like on
right,
paper, it looks okay,
it looked,
but it
yeah,
does almost feel like an Ouroboros, like a snake eating its own
right,
tail. It's kind of either cyclical
right.
what's that? It's kind of like Inception, basically. It's like it's just spinning in a circle.
Yeah.
We did have one comment in the chat about I think they grabbed GM Tech Evo, so one of those kind of mini PCs is my
Oh
understanding
yeah.
that runs like a AMD. They call it AI chip, but the newer AMD chips that
Hmm.
have the APU, which allow you to use the memory as well as GPU acceleration. So I think the question is, they got this in order to mess around with bigger models because I think you can throw RAM at this problem. So
Hmm.
system RAM, which is why it's of course very expensive. And the question is, do we have any experience running local models? Now I certainly have, but I wonder, Matt,
Yeah.
what your current favorite is for local ones.
I mean, I
I would assume
still,
this mini PC's forgot about 64 gigs of RAM, maybe 128
yeah.
max.
I mean, I've wanted to play around with, there's those. There's also the Nvidia.
Yep.
What do they call? Is it Spark, or is it? I want to
Spark
say,
DGX.
yeah, DGX Spark. Yeah, and then there's
Oh,
a
right,
number
right,
of
right. Sorry,
other.
backwards.
There's like AMD has their own, or Asus has their own. So there's a bunch of those, but none of
Yeah,
them. I mean, it seems like none of them are as powerful as a MacBook, and
or a Mac Mini.
those Mac Mini, the DGX. I mean, they're more expensive than the Mac, and they're slower. Um,
Right.
and so I haven't had. I mean, although that said, you can't get the Mac. I mean, you can't get the Macs without a 13-week wait. Um,
It is getting pretty bad, especially the Air. I think they stopped selling today. So let's assume
mm,
that the Macs are on Obtanium. You've got a box. You're probably going to
right.
run Linux on it. I would say you eke out a little bit more
Yeah.
performance. The models I played around with, I think for the most part, locally and in terms of fine tuning and stuff like that, were the Llama series. I think
Hmm.
there was like a GPT-OSS
Yep.
version
Oh yeah.
that I was using for a while. It's maybe not. So I think it was J Top and last. It's maybe not the best model, but it seems like one that a lot of people are familiar with fine tuning. So it's a little bit, I won't say easier, but like other people have taken this path. So it's
Yeah.
something they can do.
Yeah. I played around with fine tuning a bit like a year ago. I just haven't
Yeah,
had
same.
the
I haven't had the
need.
need. Yeah,
Um, but I definitely still use local models. They are
right.
mostly on for some things that it's running through N8N, where I know they're going to run, you know, every few minutes, or every
Right.
not few minutes, but hour, and I don't want to use up tokens on Ollama Cloud. Um,
Right.
so I've done that, and I don't even know what model I'm using for that. I think GPT-OSS. I mean, even though it's been around for 8 months, maybe
Yeah.
longer, it's
Yep.
still great for a lot of things. So I guess Ornith is another one that I've been playing around with more recently.
Coworker, Jason had told me about Ornith as well. I've also not played with it, but it sounds quite impressive.
Yeah.
I think the other one is there's a Qwen model that's pretty small that I would
Mm-hmm.
recommend as well. I thought it was pretty good. And sorry, big shout out to Canada. I would suggest looking at the Cohere
Mm.
translation models. Ada would be one to look at. And the other one is their embedding. I think it's just called embed. So if you're doing like local vector embedding,
Yeah, I
those
think
are pretty cool models.
Super Whisper just mentioned that they were starting to work more with Cohere on some of their online models that they use.
It makes sense.
Um,
They seem to have ones that are optimized for like lower memory use as well
yep,
as MOE. So the
yep,
combination of two means that you can get like a little bit more less latency, so a little bit more
yeah,
speed on small tasks. But again, so JTop and I've done most of my stuff with like Raspberry Pis these days. I still have a Mac Studio that I use for some of the stuff, but like Raspberry Pis are a different realm when it comes to
yeah.
running local models that they do, but mostly the tiny Qwen or the tiny Phi or Phi models from Microsoft is what I
Hmm.
played around with. And a little bit in Nemotron. I fine-tuned some Nemotron. I think I
Yeah.
made it worse. I don't know if you like had the experience of fine-tuning, but I tried to do it for coding, and I think it just yeah. The evals told me that I just actually made things worse, not
Yeah.
better. But I would say have an eval set and make sure you know what good looks like or what you think good
Right.
looks like, and test often, test locally because it's
Yep.
cheaper. But I think pre and post fine-tuning, you can set up like a set of evals that show you
Yep.
whether or not it's getting better at your task, and then you can play around through evals.
I see we got a thumbs down.
Oh, I mean that happens. It's because I
I,
got a new haircut.
it's like wait, they only got one thumbs down? Huh.
Yeah, that's it. We can do way better. Those are rookie numbers. Let's drive up engagement.
That's right.
So the other thing that I've been playing around a lot with is trying to figure out models that can run on phones. So like what
Mm-hmm.
like a portable model would look like. I'm still using Enclave, but I think JTOPM, if you're not next to a computer and you want to play around with it and you have a phone, you can test out local models to see like what they do in terms of the chat
Mm-hmm.
interface on your phone. It's going to be more latent, but you can actually go through and figure out like which models are good for you. And
Right.
I basically took that experience and started playing around with the Pis and the Mac Mini and stuff like that. So I'm testing on my phone, figure out like, hey, does it change languages halfway through a session? Because I was having that issue early on. I haven't had that in probably
Yeah.
a year and a half at this point in time, but it seems like they're all pretty good. Most people would recommend Qwen for coding or maybe
Yeah.
Nemotron for kind of a generic one.
I was trying to think of I'd
Mhm.
seen somebody talking about using models from their phone and using. I mean, we've definitely seen a lot of people talk about that with Hermes and with
Right,
OpenClaw in
right.
conjunction with Telegram, which had its own little
Hmm.
issue today or
Hmm.
yesterday with the App Store. But and I was trying to remember what was it that I saw. And
Hmm.
there's a YouTuber named God, what is his name? He often does videos about like trying to dumbify his phone or how to,
Oh, interesting.
so like go to a black and white, all black and white, and
Oh,
just off a menu system rather than icons and stuff like that.
interesting.
And he's done it. God, what is his name? But recently, he did a video and after watching his video, I saw that there's a number of other people who've done videos about this recently,
Okay.
looking at the Rabbit R1 again.
Oh, we weren't we just? I guess it was 2 weeks ago now, but yeah,
And
I do
so
feel like there should be a resurgence of the rabbit because the
the
models are
ra-
getting better.
they were saying the Rabbit is finally a really good device. And
Ah,
in fact, some of them are using it as a dumb iPhone, like a dumb phone. And
right,
it's smart but dumb. Not something that you can use a lot of apps on, but you can still. I
right.
mean, you can actually put a SIM card in there and use it as your
Oh.
I guess, messaging device. I'm not sure if you can use it as a phone,
Right.
um, but and the agent that it, or the like a remote process that it works with, so you can load up something on your machine or wherever you have Hermes or OpenClaw, and it has
Hmm.
a better feeling integration with those agents than using something like Telegram. Um,
Interesting.
so that's interesting.
That is really cool,
Yeah,
actually. I'm just looking at
I
it
mean,
now. So it's
it's
not that
two
I'm
hundred
trying to sell
bucks.
it, but it's yeah, it's still $200. I was just looking
Yeah,
at shipping to Canada. Yeah, the exchange rate's terrible. But like
I,
compared to like a Mac Mini to run Hermes or something on, this
yeah.
does make a little bit more
Well, I mean, you
sense.
still need the device to run Hermes on.
True, true. That's a
So
good point.
that
This is
doesn't, it
just the
doesn't save you
interface.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
This
just the, rather than using your phone or whatever as the
okay.
client.
I'm so this is a bit of a segue. I'm so sorry. I've got two questions for you. The first is, did you see the OpenAI basketball?
No.
Okay, so I'll describe it to the chat because I think I remember what it looks like. So imagine a basketball that's like a basketball. It
Uh-huh.
is green and blue, and it says OpenAI on it. And tell me
Uh-huh.
how much you think that basketball costs. Is step one.
Uh-oh.
I've
Okay.
actually conveniently forgotten the price, but it probably
I
says
am
sold
looking
out
at it
now.
now. I see it's $70.
$70 for a basketball is a lot for a basketball. Maybe it's fantastic. Maybe it's got AI inside it. But Matt, can you go back to the product screen because there's another product in there that might nerd snipe you just a little bit. So do you remember like there used to be something called the pirate keyboard, and it had one key on it?
Oh no.
No, like it had an R key. So
Uh-huh.
R, so to speak. Like I'm so sorry, terrible pun. The keyboard that they have for sale though reminded me of like the pirate keyboard. I think it might have a volume knob,
So it's the Codex Creator Micro,
right? And it's
and
got five keys, four
it's
keys,
got
four with a knob.
12 4
Oh shoot.
16.
Okay,
It's
my
basically got
brain forgot. Sorry.
16 spots for keys to go in, with two of those spots being a dial that way, and one that's a dial. Actually no, is it, maybe it has two
It goes the same
rotaries.
way. Okay,
um
gotcha.
the one I have has a dial and a one, like a roller thing, because I
Oh,
have
so
the,
you bought this?
no, I didn't buy it from
Oh,
OpenAI. I have
jeez. Sorry.
the creator micro from the company that makes it.
Right. Instead of OpenAI, which
And I
I
bought
thought
it
was lovely.
maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. It's a
And,
great
and
keyboard.
just, just out of curiosity, how much did you pay for it?
I don't
Six
know.
hundred bucks.
No, 100.
Yeah. Okay, 100. Out of curiosity, what is the price tag that you see on that
It
screen that
says
you're looking
out
at
of
right now?
stock.
Right. I think it
Two
was
hundred and thirty
200.
dollars.
Yeah, US, which is what killed me. As someone who's made keyboards, right? I was like, how much could it cost, Michael? $600? Like, because mechanical keyboards do cost a fair amount. But in Canadian, that's like $370. It's like a lot. Like that's a full keyboard build on my end. Like I'd have to do it from scratch, and I understand it, but like this is not a price. And it's sold out. It's sold out actually really quickly. And I think that's when people noticed that the basketball was there as well.
So the creator micro now
Mm.
is $200.
Okay. All right. Maybe it went
Um,
up in price.
it looks like
And
it.
then the special edition.
Um, it looks like now it is available wireless. I think the one I have is.
Okay.
I think I have wired. I don't know. Um, I wonder if I can see what I paid in my receipts.
I will say something that surprised me that I kind of hate it, but also I sort of like it, is that when you install the Claude desktop app, it takes over the caps lock key. And I normally
Hmm.
have caps lock disabled, so it doesn't like, I mean, it's
Oh, it
control
doesn't do
or
anything.
whatever. Right. Sometimes I'll hit the key that like unlocks caps lock and I realize what's going on. It starts as like lower thirds, full screen,
Hmm.
uh, glowing input mode on Cloud Code if you hit caps lock while it's
Uh
running
huh.
in the background. And it's actually quite intrusive, invasive, I would say. It bothers me essentially. As somebody like, who like the caps lock key takes a fair amount of real estate on your keyboard, so you're going to hit it by mistake once in a while, and it launches Claude. And it felt to me that the the version of this keyboard, I guess, from Anthropic would not be the R keyboard, but maybe the caps lock keyboard would
Yeah.
be what they
So
would sell you,
I
basically.
bought mine for $129
Okay.
in April 2023.
Okay. Wow. So
So
accounting for inflation, I think it's still not $100. There's no RAM
yeah,
in there, is
I
there? Is it like a secret cache of RAM on
I
board?
don't see anything new. I have to look and see if mine is wired. Maybe it is wireless. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think it actually is wireless. Um, but I don't see any difference. They just got bigger and could charge more.
I mean, maybe you get like a brand association to it as well. Like I think
Yeah.
OpenAI probably, yeah.
Wow.
So I think two people at work bought this. I had not heard about it, and they were
Uh
talking about it in the AI channel. I was like, why are we talking about keyboards in the AI? I thought there
huh.
was something weird going on. Like, are we at the AI keyboard level already?
Right.
Not yet. The singularity is yet to come to our
Huh.
input devices.
They have some neat keyboards that they make.
Right, right. Not
Um,
OpenAI, but the other
the
company.
worklouder.cc.
Yeah.
Um, oh wow. Yeah, they have another deal with Framer.
Oh, interesting.
Um, oh, interesting. Anyway, yeah.
The Framer Micro.
Framer
Oh,
Micro. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I think that was the first one they did.
Oh,
198
gotcha.
sold out.
It is sold out. Yeah. Hmm. These are neat.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a cool, like the macro keyboard, or the
Mm-hmm.
purpose built keyboard, purpose built interface device is interesting to me. Because otherwise, what would it be, like a microphone with a keyboard key on it? You know what I mean? Like what is that? Because
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the rabbit. I guess in
Yeah.
my mind, right? Or maybe the Playdate, which the rabbit kind of has like a little bit of that. I know you're still not a fan of the Playdate, but it's essentially a box with like a
Garbage.
rotary dial on the side, and
Yeah.
the Playdate basically it folds out and becomes like a fishing thing. But it sounds to me like a simplistic device like that is going to be maybe the next companion with like a micro
Mm-hmm.
projector or something. You know what I mean? Like the device that we carry with us might be changing.
Right.
Maybe it's a ring. I'm not sure. But I am interested in this Rabbit R1. I feel like I could actually pick one
Reysu,
up.
Reysu was the YouTube channel, and he's got
REYSU.
a lot of
Okay.
great videos.
Right on.
I like his stuff.
The Pocket Notebook. Very
Yeah.
cool. Runs their website on Astro, funnily enough. The favicon
Mm.
or favicon is an Astro icon.
Hmm.
Very cool. Big fan
The
of
thing
Astro.
we always forget to change.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Having seen it myself, yes.
Yeah.
We're just about at time. We started a little bit late, so I'm wondering if you've got any checkouts. I wonder.
Well,
Wait,
I'm I bought something 6 weeks
bigger
ago
than a car? Okay, okay.
or 5 weeks ago, and I'm still waiting for it.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
That's not
So
good.
let me look at my shop. You use the app shop, so for
I do not.
tracking. Um,
No.
it gives you like one login to be able to easily add your credit card to orders. Anyway, so I I bought. I've
It's
mentioned
Shopify, right?
no.
I think Shop is part of Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's
Shop is
part of
part of
Shopify.
Shopify.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Um, so
I had to look it up, but yes.
I bought a lens from a company called Mandler.
Right.
Um, and so I think I mentioned some of the like. Okay, so June 25th is when the shipping company got the information about the package, which was actually
Okay.
like maybe 5 or 6 days after I actually ordered.
Okay.
And then the 30th, picked up by shipping partner. Oh, so that was in somewhere in China.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh yeah, Nancheng on the 30th of June. There's a bunch of stuff in Nancheng, and then also on the 30th, Compton, California, picked up by shipping partner USPS awaiting the item. Got a
Oh,
bunch
okay.
of
Okay.
those on the 30th, and then on the 1st of July, awaiting shipping partner facility USPS waiting item.
This timeline's
Also,
amazing.
also on the 1st, handover to airline. on the first arrival to the destination airport, also on the first departure from the original airport. Yeah, this is great.
Right.
I'm hoping to
It,
get this package by like the 3rd or 4th of July, and so far things are looking great. It's
you,
flying through things.
you might have got it last year, like by the sounds of some of the, because it's in two
July
places at once.
July 1st. We have basically the same as departed shipping partner facility, USPS awaiting item. July
Ah,
2nd, released from customs cleared. Perfect. This is good. July 2nd, departed shipping partner facility, USPS waiting item. We've seen that message before, but
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
July 4th, customs check. Like, wait, it just cleared. How come there's a
This
customs
is
check?
scintillating content.
Um, and then July 12th, US customs check. It's like, wait a second. Didn't it just have customs checks a week earlier?
It checks
July
on the way out. Yeah.
July 21st, LAX customs check.
Hmm.
What? Okay, so I get another message on the 26th. Okay, finally things are moving. LAX customs check. And then I got another message on August 2nd. LAX customs check. And
So I
so,
guess it's stuck in customs.
yeah, for a month. So
Yeah.
I get this message from Mandler saying, we've been watching this shipment. It's stuck in customs for a month. We just talked with our shipping partner. It turns out there's this electronic customs thing that new requirement, but they didn't tell everyone, and so
Oh
now
shoot.
they know the new system. They're going to send out a new lens, and whenever I get the second one, just send it back.
Gotcha.
I said, well, you sure you want me to send it back to China? Because, I mean, they're going
Yeah.
to give me a label, but I can just give me a label to somebody else in the US. I'll just forward it on to the next
Yeah.
person. No, we'll take it back to China. So so they said, well, we're going to send you a
It
second
sounds like you're gonna
lens.
have two problems. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. And so the second one is coming, and it actually looks like it might be here tomorrow or the next day.
Oh,
So
sweet. And this is a 35 millimeter lens, like focal length.
35
Okay.
f2.
Nice.
This is one of the annoying things. So I love the S9, the Lumix S9, but I love it
Hmm.
specifically for manual focus lenses. I do
Right.
not like it. In fact, the reason I started late was because, well, one of the reasons was the 24 millimeter autofocus that I have on the S5
Hmm.
2X. I took it off to take with me, but I find
Right.
I just don't like using that on the S9. It's great on the S5 2X because you got extra, because there's no aperture or like a fixed position for the focusing on the Lumix lenses.
Hmm.
It's hard to um, it's it's just not as easy to use.
Right.
And so I find manual focus lenses, because you've got the aperture dial on the
All
lens,
the detents and everything. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it
And you can
just
see we were talking hyperfocal, or at least like keeping
yeah,
things in
exactly.
focus too.
So
Yeah.
one of the perceived downsides of the S9 is that their display is not great in sunlight, but I find
Right.
I don't really need it because I figure out how far it is, and I just focus based on hyperfocal distance. I don't need to look at
Hmm.
anything. I just need to look roughly where is it in the display, but that's it.
Right.
Um, and so it seems that on the manual focus lenses, if you're looking at vintage lenses or newer
Hmm.
lenses, the spot where so many lens manufacturers kind of fix themselves is at 35
Hmm.
millimeter. That is the
Right.
most popular lens, and I hate that focal length. I mean, I'm not a fan of that focal length. I have one
Right.
because they're so easy to get. So I have
Right.
that cheap one from Brighton Star,
Hmm.
and then I have this Mandler coming. Um, and then I have a Typok
Hmm.
21, which is actually
Right.
now my favorite. I that's Except I would prefer a 24,
Hmm.
but finding a 24 in these manual focus lenses seems to be really hard. When
It's
I
hard.
think
Yeah.
that is like the perfect for streets and for just all sorts of photography. I love that focal length.
I do
And then the
wonder,
50
like,
I don't really use.
have you tried any of the Sigma art lenses in manual mode? Because they feel like manual lenses to me.
So the big thing is with all of these autofocus lenses that have a manual mode, um, when you have the lens in a, you know, uh, this whatever position the focus knob is in, that
Hmm.
could be a different length the next time you
I
power it
suppose
on.
so.
It's not. It's all
Yes.
focused by wire, is it called?
Wire.
Or
Yeah, I think that's the right
so
term.
it's not
Yeah.
a, when I turn to
Right.
5 meters on manual focus lenses, it's always that spot. If I turn it off and on and off and on and off and on, it's always the same spot,
Right.
because that is, I mean, that's physically moving the lens in and out. I mean, it's or that
Oh.
element is always in the same place,
Yeah,
whereas
yeah.
on
I,
these
I I
modern
just
lenses,
Googled it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I just checked to make sure, but apparently you can, because some of them have USB-C
Mm.
ports on them now. Apparently, with the dock, you can update them to be linear, so it
Oh,
will like
really?
stay. Yeah, because I think it's got like I don't know the term of it, but it's like an accelerator. Like you're not wrong. When you turn it, it feels like
Right,
it goes not even like the same distance or like where it is, but like goes further
right,
depending on how quickly you turn it. So it looks
right.
like you can turn that off. I've not got the
Okay.
dock or tried any of that.
So that's interesting, because that definitely gets past one of the weaknesses for
Mhm.
manual focus
These are expensive
lenses.
lenses, though. It's probably way more expensive than like a manual lens. I just happen to
Mm,
have them.
I don't know. How much are they?
The art ones are often like 2 grand or at least
Okay, yeah,
fifteen
that's
hundred.
more
They're
expensive.
pretty expensive. Yeah,
um,
they're like the cream of the crop though, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Is like as the cream of the crop
right.
lens in my mind in terms of like third party across the board. But as a result, like there's got to be people using them for manual focus, so they
Yeah.
must be doing something
I
for
mean,
that
another
maybe. But
benefit of these
the dock's not helpful.
manual lenses, like the
Hmm.
Mandler, is you're looking like an inch and a half
Right, it's
deep.
tiny.
It's a tiny lens,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
21 millimeter lens I have, the Typoc, is also really thin,
yeah.
and that's great.
Yeah. Some of
It
those eye
feels
lenses
good.
are really big.
Yeah,
They're like a
chunky, and
tumbler at least, like a
yeah,
cup. Yeah.
yeah. I've seen that tumbler at people buy tumblers that look like
Exactly.
Canon
The
lenses.
Canon lens.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
um,
All right. So lenses.
but
You've got a lens coming, it sounds like.
have a lens
We'll be able
coming,
to
and
see
I
it.
think I might actually. I've been thinking for the last 4 of these episodes, it's about to be here.
It's almost here.
It's almost
It's
here.
almost here. You got
But
this.
I
Just
don't
patience, I
really.
think it
I
is.
finally started. I've had a 6 month hiatus from printing anything on the 3D printer,
Hmm.
and I'm now back into print mode, and that's been fun too.
Gotcha.
You have any
So
checkouts?
yeah, so I've been playing a game from Annapurna Interactive. I
Hmm.
keep getting them
Mm-hmm.
confused with Annapurna the chip maker, who I think Amazon
Hmm.
bought. I don't think Amazon bought this one.
Hmm.
Annapurna Games. So they made something called Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I
Oh yeah,
think runs on pretty much everything.
yeah,
It's just one of those like easy games.
yeah. I hated
It
it.
Oh, really? It's made by a small team. It's kind of got like vector graphics and things like that.
Yeah.
I will say I'm not a fan of the voice narration. I
Mm-hmm.
just it's just really boring. But it does remind me of a game that I really like called Res that had a lot of these.
Mm.
I think it's cell shaded is the term, but cell shaded maybe cyberpunk esque graphics. So there's a lot of pinks and purples and sharp lines, kind of like a Vectrex game.
Yeah.
I've played through the first, I think, four or five levels at this point in time. It's pretty fun.
They
It's
have
not too
made
bad.
so many games.
Annapurna, yeah, they're becoming a pretty big company. Yeah,
There are so many that I have played.
really,
Yeah.
Annapurna. Oh,
Yeah.
well, they make a lot of like smaller games. Yeah,
Yeah.
have you played Kentucky
Gorogoa.
Route Zero? Gorogoa, you played?
Yeah.
Oh, I have
Which
not.
is
I've heard
nice.
it's
It's
good.
like a simple puzzle game.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what else is there? There were a bunch that I saw that I recognized. No, of course I can't see any. Donut County, which is kind of fun.
Right, we talked about this one,
We
I think,
did.
on this show. In fact, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Outer Wilds, I think.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. A lot of these games are like they're sort of like smaller games, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, Signer Wild Hearts, sorry, is
Yeah.
currently on sale. This is not a sales pitch. I got it for like half price. I think it was 8 Canadian dollars on Switch, which I
Hmm.
thought was great for like a sort of pick up and play game. Most levels took me about like 2 minutes maybe to get through. So
Mm.
it's like an easily snackable game. Like imagine a phone game that you hop in, get your high score and hop out. It's really not that hard to play.
Yeah, I keep trying to get back into games, and I every now and then I'll find something and it holds me for a few weeks, and then bored with it, and I don't go back to games as a whole.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I am just reading here. I missed some news about Annapurna.
Hmm.
Apparently, all of their staff resigned in September 2024.
Oh,
So
really?
I guess it's an older game. So maybe they're not there. They don't have the best track record here. So I think they're trying to spin off or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe not the best management,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But the games, I guess, are still around. Maybe that's why they're on sale. Is there's some bad blood or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. The other one that I played recently was Neon White, which I liked a lot. Not to
Okay.
give too much
Right.
credence to this company that lost most of its staff, but
Right.
yeah, I do like
Well,
the small games.
I actually something else came up, or I
Yeah,
just remembered something. I
remember?
started using, because I'm doing more of the 3D printing, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's useful to design something and to print,
Hmm.
and but it's navigation around a 3D space is always it's
Yeah.
challenging. It's always there's always
Hmm.
compromises in whatever format you use, whether you're using a
Right.
mouse or
Hmm.
anytime, because these are all really 2D devices and you're trying to move
Right.
around 3D space with them. And
Yeah.
um and so that I have a space navigator, a space mouse thing
Hmm.
that lets you move more easily in 3D space that I
Hmm.
bought. So there's a company called 3D Connections,
Yep.
which is part of Logitech,
Hmm.
or if Logitech's cart started the company. Um, and they made this thing 3D mouse back in 2000, or
The Space Mouse. Yeah.
they made the Space Navigator back in 2001. And I think I probably bought this maybe in 2004, 2005. I think it was before I moved to Europe. So
Hmm.
I bought it in the US, yeah, 20 years ago. Um,
Yes.
and I still had it like just in the little case for it. And I pulled it out, I plugged it in a few days ago, downloaded the drivers, the current drivers. It still works.
Yes.
This mouse from 20 years ago still works perfectly.
I remember this thing. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
still yet to try one.
It's amazing.
These look amazing.
It is so, it takes a few minutes to get used to again, but
Of course.
it works
Yeah.
so fantastic. And I mean, there are other devices I have that are 15 years or 10 years old or even 5 years old, and the company no longer supports it because they've moved on to a different platform. So the fact that
Right.
these guys still support, I mean, they say it's discontinued, and there's a new thing that looks exactly the same, but now is called the Space Mouse. Um, and but it they still work. The drivers still work. It's amazing. So
Interesting. Um, I feel like the trackball should always have been able to. This was my opinion back in the day. I'm not sure if you remember there was like a rotation wheel that was like added to the
yes,
trackballs and stuff like that. But it's a ball. You
yeah.
should be able to just rotate the ball and rotate things in space. I was looking just to see if I was wrong. Someone made like a dongle that turned any trackball into a 3D space
And
mouse
there's
only 4 months ago. But
yeah,
like this
there's
is not.
another
Yeah.
company like in the last few months where they did something, and it's apparently much easier to work with than a Space Mouse, but it's like a tiny company of, I don't know, maybe 3 people trying to
Gotcha.
build up this thing. So I don't know if that's going to go anywhere, but
I,
this Space Mouse
I'm here for it.
that I have had for 20 years still works, and I'm just amazed that,
Yeah.
especially for a company like
Yeah.
Logitech. I mean, they make all sorts of things that they decide 2 years later. It's like,
Just get rid of.
that spotlight presentation thing,
Yes.
the I mean, they've just released a new version. It's a bunch more expensive. It has no real new features.
No
And
AI?
no, it's like everything that it does, the old one did. And it's like, well, I mean, it looks a little
What's the
different.
point? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that amazing note,
Yeah.
let's see if we
Okay.
can find the end stream button. Sorry, folks,
Okay.
for starting late. Thank you for the comments,
Thank you.
questions. I
And
think
two
we had
thumbs
up
up.
to
I think
yep.
they reacted to the one
Oh,
thumbs
oh.
down.
Well, there you go. Listen, I'll take as many thumbs down as you want to give us.
I will find the finish button before they have a chance to click thumbs down.
There you go.
There we
There you
go.
go.